If you have a bunch of signatures to punch sewing stations in and you don't want to use the razor blade method, you can build yourself a cradle and punch your signatures in the sewing cradle like this. I'll show you how it's done. We're going to start by diagramming out our sides so that we can fit our small pieces on like this. These will brace the cradle. So all I've done here is found the midpoint of a square. Since my work measures 4.5 by 5, I've got to make that a square to be able to find that midpoint. We're looking at 45, 45, 90 triangle. So I'll just duplicate that here on this side. I've pre-cut all these pieces to make the demo go fast. Mark these lines out quickly. Find 45 here. And this comes right down the middle. These are just the same width as the ruler. And this is 4.5. I have 2 of those by 3.5, longer than they really need to be. We end up trimming them off later. Let's start with the longer side. And I'm just going to put it on right there. Stick it down right along that first angle. It's okay that there's glue on that side. It'll dry and we'll cut it off later. Glue on one of the short ones. And even on the edge, it's going to butt up against the brace that we just put down. This one comes in right there, forming that 90-degree brace. Repeat that for the other side. Okay, we'll set this aside for a moment. I'm going to glue one of these hinges onto the back of this. I need to make sure I've got the right one. One of them is just a little bit longer than the other. One of them is the exact same length as the boards. That one is going to be on the inside. This is where we'll be punching through. The other one will be on the bottom. So I'm going to turn this over and put glue on the back. This is just scrap book cloth. I'm not paying attention to grain direction or anything. This is just a reinforcement for the tool. After a while, it might get punched through so many times that it has to be reinforced again with another piece of book cloth, or you could use tarlatan, which some people call super. It doesn't have to be particularly pretty, it just has to be functional. So we want to line up these from edge to edge, and then we'll simply put the cloth down about halfway across. Eyeballing that, and then I'm just going to press it down with my fingers. Cloth expanded a little bit with that glue, and that's okay. I can trim that off later too. While that's having a chance to dry, I'll set that aside. These are pretty much dry enough that I can go and cut through. Just using my utility knife. Gets a little bit of glue on there, no big deal. Same thing on the other side. Now we're going to be putting some glue into each of these joints. Make sure I get it all the way into the joint. And take the cradle and cradle it so that the cloth is on the top. And this is what it looks like on the back side. You want to make sure you press that joint in really well. Same thing on the other side. Press it in there. I'm gonna make sure that you've got this nice gap here on the back, that one doesn't overlap the other. Turn it over. We're gonna put the reinforcement on the back side and glue it down. So it's cut a little bit shorter so that it can fit between these boards here. So I'll put glue on that. And burnish it down quickly on one side, anchor it. And then work your way up into the groove. Form the groove with your bone folder, and then work your way down on the other side. And that reinforces it quite well. This will be ready to use in just a couple of minutes once the glue has all dried. Very quick, easy cradle to make, just with scrap material.